It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the AFC North. It's the Browns and the Ravens, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we're at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd. And through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, our ball game here featuring a couple of young quarterbacks a lot of people have their eye on. Baker Mayfield of the Browns, Lamar Jackson of the Ravens.
Yeah, Brandon, we're starting to see some of the old guard moving on. Guys like Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning. And in their place, there have been some dynamic young guys who have come into the league, not just this year, but in the last 3 or 4 years in particular. They've really changed the quarterback position. And I think both of these guys fit into that category. Youth is being served.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Browns set to go on offense for the first time, led by Baker Mayfield in his 4th season now from Oklahoma.
Is it okay if I give him a few props right here? Do you mind?
I think he's earned it. Go ahead.
Okay, how about a guy who was a 2-time walk-on, who later became a 2-time Big 12 Player of the Year, has the most touchdown passes in Big 12 history with 129, a Heisman Trophy into his credit, and took his team to the college football playoff semifinal.
And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
The Ravens offense set to take over and led by a man still just in his 4th season in the NFL, the 2019 MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And so often when you've stolen a possession, as they just did there,
on the first play,
picking up the fumble, the natural inclination is to attack, go after them big. Sometimes what you just want to do is put the ball in the hands of one of your best players and one of their favorite plays and establish your dominance that way.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And I do believe that sometimes as a defender, when you see read option, you're just making an educated guess because the offense feels like no matter what move you make, it turns out right for them. Sometimes it can burn you making that guess, but I think here, he said, I'm pursuing the quarterback no matter what he does, and this time, he picked the right option.
And the next-gen stats, they tell the story as he was approaching 19 miles an hour on that one.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25.
2nd drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
2nd and 7.
Now Mayfield. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
And in his 2nd year in Cleveland after 4 in Atlanta, Austin Hooper always does all he can to build some rapport with his quarterback. He did it with Baker Mayfield last year. Expects it to continue to rise here in 2021.
Mayfield tosses one complete to Landry. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
On 2nd and inches, Mayfield. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. His throw incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
The first carry now. This is Williams.
And Myles Garrett, the all-pro, in on the tackle.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Williams again.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out as the Ravens push further out in front.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front, giving him at least a stalemate in order to find that space?
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? Tucker now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns.
And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Yeah, they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. A run for Nick Chubb. And he stopped immediately there.
It was Chuck Clark coming up to make the tackle.
He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. They're no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole, a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit, and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
2nd and 10.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Trying to go back to Watkins, and it's 2nd down.
Well, CD, something that we've done for a number of years as the season gets going is we get predictions on each side. Let's start with the AFC. Who do you have in 2021 as your division winners?
Well, let's go to the East, and I think Buffalo repeats, although New England, they got better in the offseason, and despite starting a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones, I think they'll make a nice run at the Buffalo Bills this year. In the North, what a battle you have there. 3-way. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I like Baltimore to still win the division, but Cleveland will be right there, and Pittsburgh will make a run at the playoffs. In the South, I think it's Tennessee's division to lose. Indianapolis had a number of injuries in the offseason, and Jacksonville and Houston, they're trying to get there. And then out west, it's still Kansas City. But I love what the Los Angeles Chargers have done in the offseason.
All right, CD, and then if you had to pick, who do you have winning the AFC?
Well, I'm going to go against type here, Brandon, because teams aren't supposed to sustain as long as the Kansas City Chiefs have. But despite a retooled offensive line, I do think that they get back there again. What happened to them in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay, that serves as great motivation. They want to get back and atone themselves.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. On to punt, Jamie Gillen.
James Prochet deep for Baltimore.
Fielded just inside the 20.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards.
And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Going deep here for Watkins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a terrific first half from the dual-threat quarterback, Lamar Jackson. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Browns. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out here with the option left. Fighting through. First down and more for Jackson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground. And here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first. Jackson. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards that time.
And Sammy Watkins is in his 8th NFL season. Spent the last 3 in Kansas City and won a Super Bowl there. Really excited about the opportunity to bond with quarterback Lamar Jackson. Makes a nice catch there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Out of the pistol, here's Williams. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
The Browns D locked in on 3rd down, brings up 4th. Tucker's kick is good, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, The way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Mayfield looks to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Here's Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive.
It was Jadeveon Clowney who got upfield for the stop. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. On 3rd down, Jackson.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
Let's go!
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. The Browns drive about to get started. 1st down, Mayfield. Into the hands of Beckham. And some space here. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Well, normally the first thing most fans think of with Odell Beckham are the one-handed catches, right? But he's also pretty darn good, Charles, in his hands.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And it's 17-7. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the the toe to the leather on that one. Their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And running with power here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. On 3rd, here's an option play right.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal. A 48-yard attempt.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
From the end zone, it's Dearness Johnson. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Mayfield and the offense now. Down by 13. A little under 30 seconds remaining. Here's Baker. Pass caught by Hooper. Fights through and now a crease. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together